where it's not like we have to go and desperately try to raise funds.
Hmm.
It has become much easier because now everybody understands that Power Gummies is a market leader. Market is humongous. We just have to back the champion. This company has it to take it all.
Hey everyone, this is Minesh and welcome back to another episode of Modernizing Biz podcast. On this episode, we have the founder of Power Gummies with us. We have Divij Bajaj with us. And hi Divij, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, Vinesh. Thank you so much for inviting me over. And I hope to have a lovely conversation with you.
Likewise, super excited for this one conversation. Before moving down, I wanna ask one thing. You from the beginning, the period when you started Power Gummies, from that period you had these glowing skins, or what happened eventually? Because I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs losing their hair, the skin, and like it's not that fabulous, and the journey is not that beautiful, right? So that's why I want to know about that one thing. But yeah,
No, I did not have that great hair or skin or beard per se, not even sleep. This all happened because of Power Gummy. So I'm pretty blessed to be a founder of the brand, which is solving such issues. And the glow that you see is all because of the collagen-based gummies, which is jaw-dropping skin gummies that I take, and the Blessful Sleep gummies. So I don't know about people, but I had a pretty disrupt sleeping pattern. Once you open that Instagram, it's very difficult to sleep. It consumes
right.
about 1.5 hours easily at night. And then you're like, अच्छा ठीक है चलो ये भी खोल के देख लेते हैं अच्छा ये भी खोल के देख लेते हैं and then
It's
it's a
gone.
marathon which goes till 3-4 hours and then you think कि चलो Netflix पे कुछ देख लेते हैं but when you go to sleep, every hour or two you wake up, there's some thought going on, and being an entrepreneur is not easy because 24 hour your mind is working somewhere or the other.
Yeah.
So I'm great that Power Gummies came up with Blessful Sleep Gummies, which is melatonin and passion flower based gummies, all natural extracts. So I just take two of them and I get a pretty nice deep sleep. In the morning I wake up, it's like I'm bang on ready to take the day with a lot more energy, all relaxed, stress free,
Wow.
focused. Because I think the sleep is the key to all your problems, is what I say. Since the time I've started having I stay calm now. I mean, you'll not see me getting angry, which started to came in because of the pressure
Hmm.
and the kind of hard mental work that we do in the day. But now I feel pretty blessed, and that's why I think we've named the variant also as Blessful Sleep Gummies.
Amazing. So I know that you started the firm by bootstrapping, right? You didn't raise
Yeah.
in initial days, right? So you raised after once you hit a milestone. So what was your journey when you started out? You have when you have bootstrapped. So how was your journey look like in those area in those period, and what was those years when you were working on Power Gummies?
So this is my third venture. Before this, I had a school edtech portal that we sold, and I had an launch idea of doing headphones, which is silent disco launches that we had
Wow.
across Delhi NCR. So we built a chain. They got very popular with "Air Dil Ye Mushkil" song,
Hmm.
and then eventually I sold that, and then I really wanted to do nutraceutical because that was my love. So this was back, all my life I've realized that, the alternative nutraceutical space is big. And that's all because of my mother. So my mother hated having pills. And eventually, जब भी कुछ problem होती थी, for example, once she had a back problem. And
Yeah.
doctor would give her like vitamin D, calcium, vitamin E, and other those vitamins. So she was having about 8-9 pills a day. For anybody who has 8-9 pills a day, you feel like you got have something like cancer. It's basic deficiencies, which
Right.
90% of Indians have because the kind of food we eat, we overcook the food. So naturally, 90% of Indians are deficient of vitamins, no matter how good a balanced diet we make. Till the time we don't have a lot of salads into our diet, which is less cooked. The moment you have overcooked food, and which is Indian food, then you lose out on all nutrition because all of these nutrition die in the heat. So basically,
Yeah.
everybody has that. But for her, she thought she had something like cancer. So what I would do, I would crush those tablets, mix them in honey, and give it to her so that she doesn't feel she's having too many pills, or experiment around a lot of failure products. Like I tried to mix them in muffins, failed, tried to do something else.
Wow.
But that was my eureka moment where I realized that probably this is the reason nutraceutical is not growing in India. Probably this is why we still don't want to have nutraceutical without doctor telling us, because anything that is in the form factor of pills is a medicine for us. Straight blank.
Agree. Hmm.
Even if it is Revital multivitamin, I don't want to have it till the time doctor is not telling me to have it. And I won't have my own urge to go out and have it. And ideally, ironically, it is called the OTC market, which is over the counter, which is no more the concept in India. So I said, कि ठीक है अगर alternative में करें तो how this can become a bigger market. And then came the example of calcium sandos. So if you know
Yeah.
calcium sandos, before calcium sandos, nobody was popping calcium tablets to their kids. You won't have heard that parents are giving calcium tablets to kids. That was the
Hmm.
rarest of the rare situation where there was too much of deficiency and the doctors had to prescribe it. Calcium Sandos nailed it. They thought that the only way we can grow this market is we bring lifestyle angle to it. It shouldn't be doctor pharmacies and that way it should be the lifestyle angle. So they bought the cute doggy like packaging,
Agree. Yeah, I
and
remember
then
that.
yeah, and they said that we bring it in a nice chewable tablet format so that for anybody who's giving it to the kids is another toffee, chewable, and they get the calcium. Simple, easy, nailed both the aspects of the market building, and we know what happened later.
Amazing.
Today, if you don't give calcium to your kids, you feel like they're gonna stay weak. You have to give calcium. The whole awareness level of the market has grown to a level where people understand what is the importance of giving calcium to the kids and how important it is, and we have to give it to them. So that is the kind of revolution I am after. That is the kind of revolution that is needed in India and Southern Asian countries to develop the nutraceutical market. So I went on the mission, failed out on about 18 products, experimenting with chocolates, water, muffin, effervescent tablet, something or the other. And after trying all the variants, I finally could land up to make it in the form of gummy, where
Amazing.
building it in the form of gummy was also a challenge, because if you know gummies, we know from childhood, because gummies multivitamin were there in West. People used to get it in India. Our parents also used to, when they used to travel Europe, used to get multivitamin gummies for her,
Yeah.
and they were very nice, chewable. We used to have them and enjoy them. So I wondered ki why it never grew in India. Matlab, what was the reason they were never in India and we had to go out and get them? And then I realized it's because they were always in the form of gelatin. So the base of the chewiness was gelatin, and gelatin in India is banned. You
Right.
cannot have gelatin, and it's a non-veg. It's from the bone marrow. Uh, Even traditionally, it is not acceptable in our religion, and as
Hmm.
even in the norms, usage of gelatin is not allowed in India, and hence these companies could never come to India, and this format could never grow. So then came the challenge of to how we create it in a vegan format, because ultimately, if you're targeting millennials and tomorrow if you have to target kids and we have to deal with the whole Indian population, it has to be vegetarian, because masses in India are vegetarian. We can't have something which is non-vegetarian to go into the masses. So then we came up with the technology to make them in the pectin form. So we use pectin, which is derived from apple. It's the
Okay.
fiber which is derived from apple. We take that to make these gummies chewable.
Amazing.
So that's the
That was the
substance we
crazy journey.
replaced. Yeah, so that's the substance we replaced gelatin with to make them in the vegetarian form.
Amazing. So I want to know one thing that since you bootstrap, right, you didn't raise any funds from the market and you're building a D2C product which needs a lot of funds to boost initially, especially
Right.
for the awareness phase. So once you launch the product, a lot of people are not aware about this product. So you genuinely need to push it a lot in terms of marketing everywhere, online, digital portals, social media, even in the offline, right? So how you manage those bootstrapping phase so that each and every funds that you're spending on developing and marketing the product is being utilized in a proper manner. So what was your strategy in those days?
See, for us though, bootstrap was the only option, because nobody would believe in the concept. So when I got
Right.
this to India in 2018, and I would tell even my friends and family that I am thinking of doing gummies, with vitamins for adults. And they'll be like, you should take some break in life. You've lost it because nobody is going to buy that. Don't do
Hmm.
this. It's a stupid idea. You have to do only, tasty gummies. Or if you want to do maximum, do gummies, vitamins for kids. Don't ever think of doing this for adults. And I was like, why? I mean, look at my mom. Look at everybody who's not having nutraceutical. Nobody in my family is having even multivitamin. And I would say them that, boss, you have to, but nobody would believe. Same was the
Agree.
problem when we went to raise funds, and same was the problem when we would hire anybody, because the moment we call anybody for interview, and they'll listen about the idea and they'll smile a little and say, "Ki, I think we like to withdraw our application." Because for
Okay.
everybody it was like, he's a crazy stupid guy, and I don't want to be a part of this crazy journey just for some bucks. So bootstrap was the only option left. We had no other option but to prove ourselves first and then tell everybody, see, we were right. So now
Hmm.
if you help us accelerate, we know how to win. So with the bootstrap journey, the whole brand ideation was built around so that we can work in a bootstrap manner. On day one, we realized that we can't raise funds. Nobody will bag, no one will bet on us till the time we don't, make a market for ourselves. We don't knock the market. So that's one problem that category generators usually have. So for us, it was basic simple funda that we have the margins, we have to make a business that is profitable with the least amount of money we have to build around the business. And with that, the whole marketing that we planned, the best thing that we could found was influencer marketing,
Hmm.
because
Amazing.
that is the cheapest and the fastest way to reach to the consumers and tell them about the product from the people that they like to hear from. So we built the brand initially around influencer marketing, where it was the fastest and the most economical way for us to reach out to people. So
Yeah.
we would calculate an ROI, see the impressions, go out and talk to these influencers. It was a big task to even convince these influencers to tell about the product. And I
Agree.
remember a few of the influencers, we just said that please try our product. Just give your feedback. Don't post about us. Try them for 2 months. You don't feel a change. Don't post. It's okay. You like it, come back to us, we'll do something. And eventually, first 2 months were difficult, but this strategy worked. And eventually, after 2, 3 months, we had an organic flow of these influencers promoting the product,
Amazing.
because they were like, boss, this is something eureka. This is something great that we have seen. And within 2 months, we feel tremendous difference in our hair fall percentage being, getting down. The kind of hair fall we had before, and the hair fall that we have, that the reduction of hair fall that has happened now, and the kind of hair growth that we are seeing in our volume. So everybody was excited. So organic push started to happen. And on day one, we were very clear that, since we are the one who's creating the category, it has to be done in a perfect format. The quality has to be the most optimum quality that, Indian audience will see, because that is where you build a brand.
Hmm.
We never wanted to be a brand that comes, sells, and goes off the radar.
Good. Yeah.
We want to build a brand that goes till generation, and the whole category should be known with power gummies. So that was the aim. And hence, it took us about 2 years to do the product development, where we were working on the fragrance of the product, the look and feel of the product, the taste of the product. We also knew that people would be very sugar conscious. So we had to bring
Hmm.
that taste in the least possible sugar. If you see power gummies, we build the whole dosage in 2 gram of sugar, which is one fourth of your sugar packet that you put in your coffee.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only amount of sugar that is there in power gummies, and it's all flavor and the taste that we have built using the flavoring juices and the natural fruit juices that we could add and build into. So we were very clear that it has to be the best quality, and ideally that worked, because everybody, when they started to promote, they started to have, they were in awe with the product, where everybody said it's the most cute gummy, it's the most
Yeah.
tasty gummy that we have seen. And this was their first response, and the 2 month later response was, boss, there's nothing more magical than power gummies when it comes to the effects that we are seeing. So then the organic push happened, then the market acceptability happened. I'm thankful for the people who gave us a trial at the first stage of our life, where
Agree.
there was not much mouth to mouth, not much reviews, but they thought of trying onto the brand. And I still have a list of about 350 people of them who have been buying power gummies every month. They have been a regular consumer since we started. And I keep in touch with them directly to understand, how the taste has evolved, or what more can we change, or how the effects have been coming up. And now we have about 4 lakh customers, but still, those initial 350 customers that are still buying from us, they really mean a lot, because
Amazing.
they have trusted the brand. They helped us spread that awareness, that bring that acceptability, so that we could, convince everybody else also to get onto the journey and try.
Hmm. So you touched the point of your customer acquisition and everything. I want to get into one thing which is very important is sales. So
Yeah.
where currently what are the avenues that you are selling on, and what is the one percent who is giving you 80% of your revenue? What is one stream which is giving you 80% of revenue?
So now that we are omni-channel, we are present on all online and e-commerce websites. We are they are offline. We are into different countries like Dubai,
Hmm.
and their marketplaces. They are offline. So it's a big omni-channel presence that the Power Gummies has now, with the enormous love that we've received. But most of the revenue, so still 40% of the complete revenue, is from our own website, which is
Amazing.
powergummies.com, or powergummies.ae when it comes to Dubai. So it is from the own website that the 40% of the sales happen. Remaining 60% is with offline and other e-com across the world.
Amazing. Now, since you touched the point of raising investments and everything, so before that, once you have bootstrapped, your initial 2 years is done. Now you raised the Series A funds that you was talking about before the podcast. So I want to know a little bit about your journey. Right, those investors still feel that it is not investable, or now they are seeing the upside of this particular category which has emerged by you guys. And like, what's your scenario when you go for your Series A?
So, like I said initially, though, they would all laugh on and would never
Hmm.
even pick my call. But then eventually, once the market started to grow, we had few interests, few people who would, say, कि चलो ठीक है, let's give it a shot. So
Amazing.
initial seed round was people who said, कि, the founder is very persistent. इसने जान खा के रखी है. He won't leave our, life. So let's just bet on him. Maybe with persistence, he can do something and bring us money back. So that was my seed. But I'm glad they trusted me on that. And till the time we reached pre-series A is the time when a lot of global acquisitions started to happen. Just to give you a figure, Unilever last year in their
Hmm.
financial posting has done 2 billion euros just from gummies,
Wow.
nutraceutical gummies. And the whole crazy scenario went upside down in the West. And that's where everybody realized, oh my God, India is next. So everybody knew the moment, gummies became the best alternative seller after pills in US and in the Western markets. Everybody knew that, India is the next. So we
Hmm.
immediately hop on, and now we return David's call saying, "Yes, yes, you were right. We want to come on board." So that's when pre-series A automatically happened. We found international investors. We got good investors on board. I'm thankful to DSG Singapore who came on board. I mean, they have been a pillar of strength to us. And then immediately we had good traction and nice people like Wipro Consumers,
Amazing.
Sharp Ventures, Nine Unicorns, everybody else coming on board for Series A. So it's been a good journey because now they know that this is the strength. Lately, we were in the news because there were a lot of acquisition offers to us which we rejected, and this was a hot news topic. And then after pre-series A, the situation just completely changed the other way, where it's not like we have to go and desperately try to raise funds.
Hmm.
It has become much easier because now everybody understands that Power Gummies is a market leader. Market is humongous. We just have to back the champion. This company has it to take it all.
Wow. So now talk more about one thing that you rejected all acquisitions. So what's your take on this, and what was your vision that you didn't take acquisition? I know that you're going to get on a very higher valuation, the acquisitions and everything. You can have taken exit, and you can have, like, a lot of people think, a lot of entrepreneurs that I'll build a business, फिर मैं आराम करूंगा, right? So you could have do that, but why you have not done that? And what was your thought? What's your
See,
10 years that you're thinking?
initially, even I started with that hope because that was my
Mm.
aim that, we'll build a new category, we'll sell it. But when I started to travel this category, I realized that, it's not just a business that we're building. It's the happiness part that we're building into everybody's life, because that is very rare when it comes to nutraceutical. Everybody,
Mm.
has, they'll have some doctor riding a telescope and saying that, this is how you should buy this product, this is what it will do and all. And we're doing nutraceutical in a completely lifestyle oriented way, which is a completely different pattern, and this is much more required, because I think this is what will pioneer the revolution into the nutraceutical category in India, which is much, much, much required. Because, like I said, we have a habit of overcooking our food.
Mm.
90% of the Indians are deficient of some or the other vitamin. I mean, I'm thankful to COVID that people started to realize that, probably the way to strengthen our genes to make our future more bright, and to get away from diseases that are just increasing with the kind of fast paced life we are moving ahead to, especially in a country that is youth oriented. We have to think for nutraceutical, because that is the only thing that can save us. So now it has become about, changing the face of nutraceutical. Now it's no more of, the vision is no more about building a brand, selling it. And hence we know that, changing the face of nutraceutical will take time, persistence and efforts. And I
Mm.
need to be on my seat of the founder to derive that. Otherwise it will just become another brand which made money, came, and then is now, chirping the things. And the other thing is that I know now the potential that we are dealing with, because now we know there is a landscape to launch 40 more variants. The market is super positive. We've not done kids gummies yet. We're about to launch kids gummies, which is
Yeah.
another humongous market. Then the wellness market. We have not done the generic wellness, which is multivitamin, probiotic, which is everybody's daily needs.
Mm.
We have not entered other cities other than metropolitan, because that had been our strict focus, because we had limited funds and we had to grow in that limited funds. But now with the generic variants, and produced from our own factory, multivitamin gummies, probiotic gummies, we can hit the tier two cities as well. So
Amazing.
we know that it is the opportunity pool is humongous, and I'll be a fool to leave this pool and sell it out so early.
Yeah, I can feel that. And now it happens that a lot of founders start falling in love with the journey, not with the brand and not with the
Yeah.
outcome. Eventually, once you're 4 year down the line. Now, since you build up a category and it's pretty a lot of talked about into the market, right? Now, there's a lot of competitors entered into the phase, and that's where the ball drops, right? So, what's the strategy? How you still setting up your USP, starting from a product development, and how you gonna ensure that like we are going to be the ruling, and that's where the other entry points have been blocked up.
So, see, day one, we knew that we have to rule the market. We have to be the best product that this category will ever see. And not because we are the first entrant, because that was the aim from day one. So, the day one, the kind of NPD process that we have, nobody else follows. You still don't have nutraceutical brands doing clinical trials in India. They'll just copy paste ki is vitamin ki ye research theory hai. So,
Hmm.
basis on that, we will also do this much result. That's not us. All the products that you see about power gummies, we make sure we work on our raw materials, we work on our formulations to a level that we also understand that these are gummies. You might overconsume them. To bring that safety factors, we use the highest raw materials, which are all water soluble, so that even if you end up consuming more, your body won't absorb it. With water, you'll flush it out. So these
Yeah.
are all water soluble vitamins. To working to these many details and bringing the best kind of products, doing clinical trials for all the products. And we've not hidden the clinical trials, being afraid, we don't know how will the audience. We boast our clinical trials because we know what kind of results Power Gummies show. So, and they're all available for public knowledge. So you just go on Google, type Power Gummies clinical trial. All our researches and clinical trials are published
Hmm.
with our certifications, WHO certification, and they're not published and on any just another site. They're published on European Food Journal.
Wow.
So we have done it to an optimum level of R&D. When it comes to product, from day one, the kind of formulation that we have, the kind of technology we have is something that nobody has been able to ace, and nobody will be in the near coming future, because we have been the pioneer strength in terms of the quality. Any gummy that you see in the market, just to give you a small example, would be, so this is one of the rivals, I'll not name, but the any variant that you'll see in the market, they'll all have these pillow packings.
Yeah.
They'll all have these gummies which will be in like toffee like pack. That's because all of them have their melting point is 25 degrees. So you have to store them below 25, because at 25 they melt.
Hmm.
All of them. So these are the kind of gummies that are, being made, what I say is, just on a Dhaka start model, where these were
Hmm.
gelatin based gummy plants, and now they're trying to make it in pectin. This is not the actual technology that is there for pectin gummies. So these gummies, when you open, they have a very bad aftertaste. They stink. They are pathetic in taste, and this is how chip and ajeeb they are. All of them.
Okay, this one.
So
I yeah.
everybody is trying to copy our shape. Everybody is trying to copy the shape of the outer box that we do, the kind of inner gummy that we do. But that's fine. I mean, till the time
Yours
everybody
is
understands that,
pretty fine. I've seen that.
yeah. So this is how others are. You see
Hmm.
how
I can see.
badly it is. I mean, I will never want to have a gummy like this, and I will rather, take my. I will rather leave out that, I won't have. I don't want to have gummies at all. Versus us, cute lifestyle packaging. See, this is how the gummies are from inside. We don't have to pillow pack. You eat them. Finish. So they're all
Yeah.
loosely packed, very beautifully crafted, from fragrance to touch and feel to the look of the gummy. Now you see, they're so well
Even the
crafted gummies.
aftertaste. Yeah.
Yeah, even the aftertaste. So, this is the kind of gum you just want to have, pop in, enjoy, feel happy about consuming nutraceutical, and that's what we are all about. So that is our winning strength. A, the product. B, the market intelligence. We have been the longest in the market, and we understand how the market responds.
Yeah.
We
Hmm.
have had our own learning curve. We have failed in a lot of experiments. We have learned from a lot of experiments. We know how to position it. There have been a lot of products that have came to rival us, but they've not been able to build their position. They've been trying to just undercut us in terms of quality and by reducing their price. But that strategy would never work, because in the category that we work, people want quality. They want results. They want a good product. Something that concerns your health, you'll be okay to spend a little more, but you want the best and the best kind of quality. And that has been the pioneer strength for us. So A, it is the product. B, it is the market intelligence that we hold out of all these experience. And C, it is the team. See, I think anything that drives a company is its team. It has taken a lot of time for us to, bring all these
Hmm.
champion players into play. Even if it is our CSO, our COO, our R&D head, who's a national awardee, and he has developed two vaccines for India, and
Wow.
he's the head for the NPD process for Power Gummies, to the whole marketing team that we have developed, to everybody who has joined in. They're all people in the team now who hold a passion to build this as the top brand in India. They all love the format, and they're all champions. So anybody who comes up is going to take time to build such a strong team to compete us. And these three
Amazing.
things are the ones that will always keep us in strength position and make sure that we remain as the market leader.
Amazing. One last question, Divij, towards going the end of the conversation is that one challenge you still think that as a brand Power Gummy is facing and which you either will going to cope up in upcoming years. What was that?
See, the only challenge I would say that we face now is the consumer awareness, because
Hmm.
yet consumers are not evolved for nutraceutical. I mean, it takes time for them. It is, they've seen the ad, they like it, they'll buy it, and in 20 days they'll ask, कुछ हमें result नहीं feel हो रहा. So it
Right.
it is a very big task for us to explain. So we are dealing with the audience that has always been false promise that 7 दिन में गोरा निखार पाए, 2 दिन में ये.
Hmm.
Everybody is promised overnight results. So in such a situation, when we try to be honest, it takes a lot of consumer awareness to explain them that, see, nutraceuticals take time. It's not like you start having protein and you're like, oh, muscles nahi aa rahe. That can never happen. It's body. It has its own process. Anything that you start to consume at first, body will reject, because for it is not a daily food. It is something that it has gone suddenly. Then it will start to adapt metabolism towards it. They will know that this is something that I'm getting daily. I can change my
Yeah.
working, and I can alter my body functions accordingly. So slowly that process starts to happen in 22 to 24 days, depending on the body metabolism. Then the results start to kick in, and it is all a very slow process. So with power gummies, anything or any nutraceutical for that matter, if you want to expect any results, please give it 3 to 5 months. So this is one consumer awareness that we still lack a challenge to play around. The other consumer awareness that we lack is people feel that we have a pretty nice balanced diet. I
Yeah.
have two chapati a day. I have this dal. I have that and that, and it is still
Ev-
very difficult to convince them that you know Indian food is an overcooked food. Till the time you're not giving me a logic that I have salads with broccoli and all the superfoods 3 times a day, you are deficient. You need something like this because you can't
Hmm.
match up your body needs and your daily RDA just on what you think is I eat gharka and I eat good food. The other challenge that we feel in consumer awareness is that people have this thought process that maybe I need to go to a doctor to have it or something, which we're
Hmm.
trying to carve because we want to educate everybody that nutraceutical is OTC, over the counter. It's not like you go to a doctor or ask a health expert and have it. Don't have power gummies, have any nutraceutical, but nutraceuticals you can do your homework on your own. You can understand what vitamin C does for me, what vitamin does for me, what kind of daily intake में मेरा R&D cover होगा. If it is not getting covered, hop on to anyone that you like.
Hmm.
But you can yourself study, and there is no harm to it. You don't have to be dependent on a doctor to guide you because otherwise they will only write you prescriptions which are in which they're getting the commissions. It's all young generation, youth, everybody understands the whole MR is working on
Hmm. Yeah. Yes.
commissions. Anything that you get prescribed, they have a 30% cut on it, and that's why you're getting it prescribed, and it's all ruling with the pharma industry. Even the multivitamin that you will get from some pharma industry that doctor is getting 30% in. It's
Hmm.
not something that is hidden. And all respect to them, but it's their business. So
Agree.
rather than getting influenced by that part, you can just yourself study, yourself understand what your body needs. And, if you have any kind of thing that you're starting to feel like hair fall or, dull skin or anything, you should know that all things in our body start with right nutrition. All things, happen with right nutrition, and all things happen bad with bad nutrition. So it's all nutrition. All you have to understand is understand what kind of problem you're facing and understand how I can solve it with nutrition, and have it from anybody that you like, but self-aware yourself. Please don't be dependent on anybody.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, Divij, for this insightful conversation. It was really nice conversating to you. And thank you so much for being on Modernizing Biz podcast.